live stream. Okay, the problem is that I can see live on YouTube. Oh wow, meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Yeah, of course we are live.
But how can I? That's the problem is that I want to. I can
You
see.
just don't worry about everything, right? So we are able to watch you. Don't care everything, right? We can see you.
Okay, but I do not understand why I can't see myself. This is the very first time happen. Okay, yeah, go on.
There are a lot of things that happen first time.
Yeah, there are a lot of the. Oh my man.
Umar Ibrahim is the one whom I know. Okay, I'm going to see maybe a couple of people from my group. So here, I'm new to you guys from Shashiraj's group.
Let us see.
I'm new for you.
Yeah, I'm new to you. I'm new to you too.
Guys, turn on your camera. Everyone, turn on your camera. I'm gonna take a picture. Everyone, please turn on your camera. Everyone. Thank you. So Tatiana, you could have some interaction with participants. So after 2-3 minutes, we'll start.
Okay. Yeah. So hello guys. Very nice to see you all, and I thank Mr. Shashiraj for inviting me to his Zoom meeting. I've heard a lot about your meetings, and Shashiraj is sharing these videos in my group too, as well as in other groups. And I know that you are discussing different topics. So when he invited me, I asked myself, what am I going to talk about? What is the topic that might interest people? And I could not answer that question. That's why I just decided to talk about something that I've been doing all my life, all my professional life, and this is teaching pronunciation. So I decided to take the topic which I called my pronunciation journey. At first I thought, like, who cares? Who cares about pronunciation as long as the message is conveyed? And that is the point. So if you can convey your message, if you can put it across and your opponent understands you, then there's nothing to worry about, right? And if it is a situation when people keep asking you questions when you are explaining something to them, then this is probably a call for action. So I decided, since I've been teaching pronunciation for over 30 years, this is something I might talk about, because I'm not familiar with anything else. And if it starts getting boring, then just let me know. And at first, I wanted to actually keep your questions until the end of my talk, and I want to ask you just to type your questions in the chat so that you do not forget what you wanted to ask me about. But you're welcome to kind of boo and shoo, like, we don't want this anymore. I will understand you, because I know that pronunciation is a very, very boring topic. So I am very well aware that every person is unique, and their pronunciation is just something is their feature, something that belongs to them solely. And of course, everyone can keep their like national traits in their pronunciation. It's all right. So as long as you sound clear, and your pronunciation doesn't hinder understanding, then it's just okay. But as a teacher, I have come across so many cases when students are even shy and they refuse to speak because they do not sound like native speakers. A question to you. Does anyone care about their pronunciation here? I mean, those people who are in this Zoom right now, in this chat, or is it something that you have, that you just don't think about? Does anyone is anyone interested in this topic? Or have you just stopped thinking about your pronunciation? Because we're all non-native speakers, including me. I'm a non-native speaker. So if you're still trying to do something like to improve your pronunciation, please put up your hand or somehow show me that you're still on this. Oh, Rosa is still thinking about how to improve her pronunciation. There's also R.K. Sharma, Leroy, and Ardian, and Alam from Bangladesh, and Sila Farida. So I'm not alone. Thanks. Thank you guys for supporting me. Yeah, Maria. Yeah, great. Okay, so I'm not alone. To tell you the truth, actually, yeah, it's such a relief to see these hands because you are supporting me, and I think that you're being so just so nice. You're being too kind for supporting me, because really the topic is so boring. When I came to the university to teach at the Faculty of Linguistics as a newbie, as a new teacher who has just graduated from the university, by my former professor, I was given a book from her uni years, and she said, "You're going to teach phonetics." Guys, you know what it is? Phonetics. Phon, phonetics. Not fans, but phonetics, which means pronunciation. And that was, at first, it was actually, I was so sad about that, because this was phonetics. Yeah, phonetics. And because that was the most detested subject at the university. Neither teachers nor students liked it. Everybody shied away from it because we're non-native speakers. How can I teach somebody to pronounce, just to sound native-like if I myself have got an accent? So that was a problem. And actually, I didn't have this subject at university myself. So that was even funny. Like, how am I going to teach others if I haven't had such a subject when I was a student myself? So I had to learn all the theory of phonetics, and then come to my students who were only 2 years younger than I was at that time. And you can imagine how horrified I was. I was supposed to show confidence. I was supposed to teach them something that I was not taught when I was a uni student. So that was a trial. But I can tell you that that was the turning point in my understanding of what pronunciation is and how teachable and how learnable it is. Are you bored to death? If you are, we can change the topic. Or if you're ready to listen on, I will continue.
Tatiana, are you freak out? You scared? What's wrong? You are repeating all time like that pronunciation is boring. I disagree. I like that topic. I like that skill.
Yeah,
But
but
Oh, thank you so
you're
much.
repeating and insisting the
every
same. What's
participants
wrong with
like this
you?
topic.
What's wrong with you? Is everything okay? Really?
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah. Yeah, I'm freaking out actually. Yeah, I'm really worried because I can see some of the faces are so kind of unpenetrable. They are bored and I think like, oh my, what am I talking about? It's not interesting. I would like to sound like I am in TED Talks, but yeah. So let's continue. I had a question myself. When I started to learn phonetics, I had a question. Is it only the bilingual people who can acquire native-like pronunciation? Is it only the young kids who are able to, squeaky toy, who are able to obtain that native-like pronunciation? And I was watching my students who were 19, 20 years old, and I can see that actually the more theory there is behind all this subject, the more theory you give people, the more tricks you use. What I mean tricks, like, okay, I'd rather call them tools. You just give your students the tools which really quickly and fast can change certain pronunciation issues that they have. Like, I can speak about Russian students because I know that in every language, and I can see that there is a question, Shashi asked you for the breakout room discussions, like, does your mother tongue influence pronunciation? And it definitely does. So let's say in Russia, we don't have the TH sound. So a lot of people are struggling with that sound because if you pronounce the or v in Russia, then it means that you have a speech deficiency. And no one wants to sound like they have a speech deficiency. In Russian, it is just wrong to use this sound. And a lot of students feel like, hey, I'm an adult. Why should I sound like I've got a speech deficiency? I'm not going to pronounce this sound, okay? In Russian, we've got only 6 vowels, whereas in English, there are 20. So can you imagine how many new vowels there are for a Russian student? Who was introduced English only when they were adults and not babies. So it's really very, very difficult to distinguish between whether it is an e or an a, when in Russian we don't have either of those. Or when we have, in Russia, we have the u sound, but in English, we have e, and u and u. So there's so much to learn about. When I started to study deep, and to dig deep and study this topic, this whole field, I understood that this science about teaching other people to move their articulation organs is actually a very beautiful science, and very similar to the subject that, not the subject, I guess, we are similar to those teachers who teach people to sing, right? What did what did I get from my journey? Actually, I even haven't touched upon my own journey. First of all, when I was a baby, just before I was born, and when I was born, and after that, I used to listen to a lot of English songs. That was because my father used to play in his music band, and he used to listen to a lot of the Beatles and other English songs. And that was not just the background noise. Like, I know that a lot of people listen to English music, English songs, but for me, that was not just the background noise, because what father did, what he used to do, he used to sit down and write the words in the Russian alphabet, because he didn't know English. He studied German at school. So he wrote those words, the lyrics of the songs, as he could hear that. And I could see him working on that. And he was trying to, and did that, to sing the songs as he could hear that. So probably it engraved into my memory, like people can use this means of communication, for example, to communicate feelings, to convey their feelings with the help of songs. And when I came to school in grade 1, that my teacher just asked me. She asked me to stay after the class, and she asked me, "Is your mother an English teacher?" And I told her that no, my mother was not an English teacher. And she said, "Don't lie to me, girl. Is anyone in your family an English teacher?" And I told her that no, only my dad was singing or trying to sing songs in English, and we listened to a lot of English songs. And that was the answer to probably my perception of English more easily than other kids. And later on at the university, I was also responsive to my teachers' classes, responsive to all the audios that I could hear. But at that time, when I was a student, we didn't have such media, we didn't have computers, we didn't have so many videos and audios. So it was really hard to obtain good pronunciation. So I was just doing all my best. You can't even imagine. I was collecting all if probably somebody remembers that, the player cassettes, such rectangles, and videotapes, and a lot of stuff, which something like maybe 15 years ago, I didn't even have any players to play on, and now we don't need them any longer. I can, if there are people who are really interested in how they can acquire pronunciation, I will not think up anything new. I will not say a new word in this. Of course, you have to listen and listen a lot. But as a teacher, I have noticed that the percentage of those people, the ratio of those people who are naturals and who can just copy native-like pronunciation is very small. I don't know. I think that I can count them on the fingers of my hand, probably. But I have seen many times, that it's enough just to tell the person what to do with their tongue in their mouth, where to place it. And every person is different. We're all individual. I mean, even our anatomy is individual. So it's enough to tell the person what to do with their tongue in the mouth, and the sound changes, because this is an instrument. And I am still mesmerized at how the eyes of my students change when they come into my class, and I give them that little tool, like I tell them that little trick that will work if they do this or that. And instead of this and that, they will start pronouncing this and that. Or instead of saying some neutral sound like pan instead of pen or pan. And they can see that this is very important in the English language, because it distinguishes between different things. A tree is a tree, but three is a three. A free is a free, something free. Yeah, and as I'm working mostly right now, I'm working mostly with teenagers.
I'm sorry, Tatiana, you know, there are some mouth movements when we don't know how to lips all these things, when we don't know how to use the lips and tongue, the mechanism of entire mouth. So many times we are not able to pronounce the word. The TH sound, fa, F, and PH sound, and P sound. So they all have some mechanism of pronouncing the word. Like when we are pronouncing sound pa, we have to touch our lips, like people. And when we have to say face, so we don't have to touch our lips. We say face.
Absolutely.
Or when we have got face, PH sound, so we don't have to touch our lips. It's called face.
When we say face with the sound f, we do touch our lower lip, but only with the upper teeth. Face. And this is the problem. Yeah, face. It is the problem with in Russian we have this sound, but in Russian we don't touch our lips saying f. This is how we say it. We don't have to touch our lower lip with the teeth, but in English you have to put your upper teeth on your lower lip and leave a little bit of space, just a little bit of space, and blow the air through this. Yeah. Face. Yeah. My teeth are on my lower lip now. Face. Free, but for free it is different already, because after we say and we have to prepare like to prepare for the pronunciation of and it's accommodation, it's a different thing. So sounds in isolation is one thing. Then there's such a thing as accommodation when sounds interact and they change a little bit, they influence one another. There are certain stages of pronouncing a sound, and this is all theory, and this can be really very boring without any exercises that make students enthusiastic. So what I did in my classes when I was given this task to teach phonetics, what I did was a lot of project work, and a lot of exercises. I used to teach my students how to breathe properly. And we had a lot of fun moments when we all stood up and we breathed out, inhaled and exhaled to the count of 4. Then we used to pronounce very, very simple words with the different tones, different voice timbre. Then what else did we do? Of course, we did the tongue twisters, and I conducted even, what are they, contests for students in which they had to do both theory and practice. So there was a lot of fun, and my students really knew how the organs of articulation move in their mouth cavity and what they are supposed to do to produce this or that sound. But what I always tell other people, I tell them to really help yourself to improve your own pronunciation. Just like when you want to improve whatever you want to improve, you need to start teaching others. This is some magic happens when you start teaching others. When I was a girl, I watched a movie about one 10-year-old girl who boasted that she could swim, and other children asked her, "Oh, please teach us to swim." And the town authority even gave invested the money into the swimming pool. So you can imagine, when the swimming pool was built, that girl was supposed to teach others. And she was so freaked out because she never could swim. What did she do? While she was teaching others, she learned to swim herself. Just like I was not taught phonetics, but I was supposed to teach my students. And what I did while teaching them, I taught myself. And since that time, when I was first given that books on phonetics, I have never stopped thinking about my pronunciation. It's just like learning to, having learned to drive, you can never be just a passenger in the car. You always understand what is happening behind the windows and who is who's breaking the rules and so on and so forth. So this is, my journey is not finished yet. I'm still working on improving my pronunciation, but I can tell you that it's not with a lot of previously I used to worry a lot how I sound, and this used to haunt me for even decades. When I was already a teacher, I was horrified, like, oh, what will the native speakers think about my pronunciation? But finally, the moment came when I stopped thinking about that. And right now, I'm not afraid of listening to my audios, of seeing my videos any longer, because now I think that I have already done enough to sound clear, but not enough to feel complacent. Okay. And it's just like in everything, there's no limit to perfection. You can go on working on this and never stop. Just like we can never stop learning English unless we're not bilinguals. I'm a foreign speaker, and I can never stop learning English. I'm learning new words every day. I'm learning new grammar every day. Just naturally, in a natural way, by teaching others. So but on my on my pronunciation journey, what was very important is when I introduced English into my family. When I introduced English to my 3 younger children, I have 4 children, and my 3 younger children, when the youngest one was 4 years old, I just started speaking English to all the 3 kids. And that was a mighty change in my own English. I started to notice that I was learning anew because there was new vocabulary for me, because I started to watch and read children's stories. And as adults, we never learn this vocabulary at the university, right? Because we start talking about traveling, the universe, and whatever, coronavirus, but we never talk about diapers, dummies, pacifiers, and whatnot. That, like, there's a whole big chunk of culture which is left out just because we started learning English as adults, and we have to pick that. It's thanks to my children that I put my English step further because of reading and watching more and new stuff. And because I kind of raised English speaking kids with whom I can practice English daily from morning till night. And this is so much different from having students. Yeah, so this is a whole different topic, which, as an Anglo mom, as we call ourselves, those people who are non-native speakers, but still they want to raise their children bilingual, what we're doing. So that's a whole different topic. But I couldn't but mention it because this played a crucial role in my pronunciation journey too. So I'm done and ready to answer your questions if there are some.
So guys, that was the journey of Tatiana.
Sorry, was that a question? Was that a question?
Yeah, do you want that? Shall I ask people to ask question, or you want
Yes, yeah.
more?
Yeah, please do.
So we have got Alam. Alam wants to ask questions. I'm going to unmute you, Alam. So Alam, you can ask question.
Yeah, thanks for giving me opportunity to ask question. I am working on my pronunciation. I want to develop myself. So did you think from your side, if I see so many English videos, I mean English speeches from the native speakers, and I try to talk something like them, it will really help me to improve my pronunciation? What do you think?
Okay, let me let me talk about this. This depends. I should also ask you several questions. When and how did you learn English? Have you been speaking English since babyhood? Oh, can you, Shashi, can you unmute this, Mr., and we will talk.
Oh, okay. Yes, Alam, you can unmute.
Yeah.
Yes. So how long have you been speaking English?
Yeah, professionally, it's maybe more than 6 months.
6 months.
Yes.
Wow, your progress is just amazing. So you started learning English 6 months ago?
Yeah. And this credit goes to this group. And, I am really grateful to all of the members, all of the participants, like you, like shashiraj, like Ajita from Iran, like Diana from Indonesia, like Dr. Huang and Mr. Joy also. And this group is lot of things for me. And I have found in online, and credit goes to all of them. And I really grateful to all of you.
Great. Okay, now I think it is easy for me to answer your question. Well, first of all, I'm really, really amazed at people like you who pick English or any other foreign language so quickly, only 6 months, and you're talking and you can understand. Oh my, then when I see people like you, I feel myself so stupid, like, it took me so long to learn English. Well, of course, you have to listen to native speakers. The more you listen, the better. But just listening and making it as your background doesn't help. You have to analyze. For this to help, you need to really analyze. And I can again speak about my own experience. When there was time when I was already a university teacher, but still, and I was teaching British pronunciation, and I was still unable to distinguish British pronunciation from American pronunciation. Like the guy is speaking, like, are they speaking British, Australian, Canadian, or American? I wasn't able to distinguish between those because there was no internet, and we had only British books, and I could learn about other. We had only British audios, and I could learn about other accents only theoretically, not hearing that. Well, I've never seen passion fruit or durian. I cannot theoretically know how they taste or smell. And before I see them and taste them, I won't be able to judge about that. So it was only later when the internet came that I was able to distinguish between the 4 main types of pronunciation: British, American, Australian, and Canadian. And so listening does help, but it was only after several times when people, starting with one of my students who now lives in Dubai, and she is a certified English teacher. And once in our pronunciation classes, she said, Tatiana Evgenievna, you are explaining to us how to pronounce the sound, the vowel sound in the word box, but you're pronouncing it absolutely differently. And that was the first time when I started to think, like, oh my, they really do understand. This is the description and this is how it sounds. And because I had only American friends, but the books were from British writers, not writers, but British phoneticians. That's why I was explaining how to pronounce, how to use British pronunciation, but I myself was pronouncing it partially in American, like box. I would say box. And my student was unhappy. She didn't see what I was explaining because I was explaining how to pronounce box and not box. Okay. And then when I was a stay-at-home mom with my 3 younger children, and I was talking in internet was my classroom, and I was talking to one teacher, and he said, your pronunciation is a mixture of British and American. And that was the time when I had to make a choice. It was a very hard choice because I thought that the British pronunciation is the coolest one because the Queen of England speaks the received pronunciation. And I but I didn't have any British friends. All my friends were from America. So I made my choice and I retrained myself. And I had to listen. Well, whenever I had to listen to some movie, audio, podcast, I chose only Northern American pronunciation, or just any American pronunciation, but not from Louisiana. And that's how I trained myself to first notice the difference between them. So that's what I'm talking about, Alan. You have to analyze. This analysis is the key to just listening won't help. A lot of people listen to English songs, but they still don't understand the lyrics. Why? Because this is just the noise for them, beautiful noise. They cannot distinguish between where does this word finish, where does the next word start. You have to analyze. I would recommend people, let me see, I would recommend people Rachel's English. If you want to master your Northern American pronunciation, Rachel's English is the answer. You can see all her videos, and and she was trained as an opera singer, and her pronunciation is just brilliant. It's so beautiful. And she explains everything using the schemes and close-ups. You can see the movement of her tongue and lips. So that's just wonderful. We now lucky because we've got such technologies that we can master our English not leaving our home. So the pandemic is not even
we have very, very good trainer as well. Those who are ready to train people.
Well, I'm not your trainer. You are these people's trainer. You are their coach.
A lot of people, those who are training and they are giving.
Luckily. Yeah, luckily there are people that you can ask questions and who are ready to help, and there's nothing impossible.
Excuse me, two participants, they are raising their hand for the long time, so I want to give them a chance to ask their questions. So first, Maria, you can ask your question. No, please unmute.
Oh, thank you so much for your opportunity to me. Thank you so much. This is the first time I joined this. A conversation like this. I'm so sorry because I just read all the text before, and I'm so excited to join. I want to try to make my pronunciation so very good. And actually, I start to learn English 8 months ago, I guess. And I tried to use many applications like Duolingo and Tandem. And I just practice English, like speaking English with many people from around the world. And this is the first, when I start to speak English, I'm so nervous. I don't know how to speak with them. And my pronunciation is so very bad. And sometimes I can understand when they speak for me. Maybe can you tell me your recommend about another application to help us practice speaking, not just speaking, maybe to practice writing, reading, and yeah, like that, because like me, I need to have many tests, like test English, and we not just practice pronunciation, but we need to understand how to write English, reading English, and another like that. So can you tell me your recommend application or something like that, so we can learn from that? Maybe just it. Thank you.
I would give the floor to Shashiraj because I think that he knows better about reading and writing applications. I myself, a person of the old formation, and I don't use applications on my phone because my eyesight is getting worse and worse. But I can tell you, if you're speaking about pronunciation, like improving your pronunciation, you can use Rachel's English as one thing. Another thing, if you want to help yourself using the internet, this is youglish.com. Probably everyone already knows, but youglish.com is a great thing that we have. This site gives us different types of pronunciation. You can hear only British speakers, or you can listen to only American speakers, or only Australian. For some reason, there's no Canadian pronunciation there, if I'm not mistaken, or all of them. And what I personally do, if I want to make sure that the word which I have pronounced for decades, but if I pronounce it correctly, I go to youglish.com and I listen to several native speakers. I click and click and click and listen to several native speakers, how they pronounce this word, because understanding transcription is different. And using dictionaries, like dictionary, there are very good dictionaries. And you can click on the speakerphone and hear the pronunciation, but there's only one type of pronunciation. And to learn the word, you need to hear this word from different speakers. That's why youglish.com is a must. I found that there is such a thing for German too. And when I started learning German, I also went to, I don't remember what it's called for German language, but there is also such a thing. And you can do, it does several things for you, not only the pronunciation, but you can see how this word is used in the context. Because there are so many different contexts one and the same word is used in, but usually learners of English, they pick the first one which the dictionary gives them. And this is just wrong, because in some particular text, in some particular reading, they can use maybe the fourth or the fifth meaning of this word. That's why it is just, we're happy to have this youglish.com. You can always check words out there. But I'm sure that Shashiraj is going to give you recommendations on reading and writing too. It's not that I don't know anything about that, but I think that he knows more about that.
Thank you very much, Tatiana, for explaining the questions. So now we have one more participant, RK Sharma. He wants to ask questions. RK, so I'm going to allow you to unmute yourself. Now you can ask questions. Unmute and you can ask your question.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for Sashi sir, for giving me wonderful opportunity to speak here and to interact with all the people who are from other countries. Okay, my question is that, we are working on pronunciation, but we don't know that where can we stress in the middle of the word. So this is the major problem for especially for me. So ma'am, would you like to tell me that where can I stress in a word? So that is very, difficult for the, who are not native speaker, I think.
Mm-hmm. So did I understand you right? You're asking about the word stress.
Yes.
The word stress.
Yes.
Oh, I think that the answer to this, actually, if you really want to study this question, then you can just Google word stress in English, and you will have many articles which show you the word stress, and the stress syllable will be in capitalized in capital letters, and there will be people pronouncing these words, and there are certain rules, of course, but I cannot believe that a person whose English is upper intermediate or higher doesn't know where the stress is on the word, which syllable is stressed. I cannot believe this, because to gain that level, the upper intermediate and advanced level, which is C1, C2, to gain that level, you have to read and listen so much that after listening to native speakers for that amount of hours, you will just naturally remember where the word is stressed. I think that this is probably not a problem even. The problem is that a lot of people listen and do not analyze. I've got a couple of students like that. Every time after they send in their audio, they are supposed to read text and they send in their audio. And what I do, I just send them the chunks of text and I box the words which they mispronounced, and I send them my audios for each of those words. And when they pronounce a single word, they pronounce it after me correctly. But if it comes to unprepared speech, then especially if your surrounding is the people, you're surrounded by people who always use English and they use English incorrectly, they're probably discouraging you from working more and with more care on your pronunciation. So again, I think the key is to listen, but to listen actively, not passively, like, okay, I'm knitting and I'm listening. No, you have to listen and, okay, the next technique, I'm sure you all know it, but have you ever done this? I'm still doing this. So, for example, I'm doing my workout. I mean, I'm working in place and listening to podcast, and what am I doing while I'm listening to a podcast? I'm shadowing. I'm doing it either in whisper or I'm doing it aloud. I've never mentioned this in my talk, and there are a lot of things that I've probably missed out, left out, but my husband calls me a whisperer, because since I became an English student several decades ago, I started whispering. I always shadowed things in my head, and I whispered because I was so very much afraid that people would think that I am insane. I was riding the bus. I was standing in a queue. I was walking, and I was whispering English, and this is practice. Just putting all this input, all this listening into your ears is not enough. You have to let it go out of your mouth, and you have to listen and compare how they said this and how I said it. And that's why for about 3 decades, I was absolutely unhappy with my own pronunciation, because I heard that I'm doing it wrong. And how wrong? Just a little bit wrong. I was still clear. It was clear what I was saying, but I wanted an absolutely native-like pronunciation, so that no one could recognize that I am from Russia, for example. Now, no one can recognize I am from Russia, but I still don't sound absolutely like a native. because I've got a mixture of several different now plus Australian accent, three, like a mixture of American, Australian, and British. And what I do is I keep on analyzing, I keep my cool, I keep on analyzing, and I know that this process is never ending. And we just need to embrace this process of learning and never be discouraged by our results. But don't stop analyzing. Don't listen to English just as the background noise.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. So I would like to say something about word stress. Okay, has asked you important question. Very first, we need to understand what is word stress. Word stress is a stress. We emphasize a part of the word, and the part of the word that is called the syllable. When we break the word, so we have got 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 parts. So those parts are called syllable. So sometimes we put the stress in the first syllable, sometimes the second, sometimes we put in the third, fourth, in this way. And when we put the stress in a word, it changes the meaning of the word. It happens sometime. I would like to give one example. Suppose we have got one word that's called present. So when I'm putting the stress in the beginning, so that's called the present. It's called the gift. And when you are saying present, it's called you're demonstrating something, you're showing something. The word is same, but meaning is different. So it is important to know word stress. And if you don't know, it can change the meaning of the word, meaning of the sentence. And people might be confused, those who are natives. All right. And for learning the accent or word stress, I have shared one dictionary over here that's called the Oxford Advanced Learner Dictionary. That is in our chat box. So you can do one thing. I would like to share my screen, and you cannot go through the entire syllable, entire things, because this is not the time to know the syllables, where you have to put the syllables. It's only your knowledge that how many words you are using per day, and the words which you are using per day, you must know those words only, where you need to put stress. Suppose one word we have, that is chocolate. So you are watching. Are you able to see my screen? Can you see my screen, everyone? Right. So do you see one dot is there? Do you see the dot? Right. You might be able to watch this. Right. So when you have got this dot, this stress, this is called the stress. This is the symbol of stress. This is a small part. This is the symbol of stress. Whenever you see the symbol is there, so you need to put some stress over there. You need to emphasize that part. So you'll be speaking this word in this way: chocolate, chocolate. And this part you have to speak slowly. Chocolate. So I'm speaking let. I'm not speaking chocolate. I'm speaking chocolate. In the same manner, we have word that's convict. So if we are using this word as a verb, it's called convict. Convict. I'm speaking slowly, this part, but I'm putting stress here. Convict. It is called convict. But when you are using this word as a noun, this word is as a noun. Spelling is same, but the meaning is different. Now, how will I pronounce this word? It's called convict. Convict. It is as a noun. So in this way, you can learn word stress. Now you must be knowing the importance of word stress. It is important. Okay. So that was about from my side about the word stress. So now I'd like to give chance to Amit Dali. So Amit Dali, you can ask your question. You can unmute and you can ask your question.
Yes, sir. At first, I want to ensure that I'm audible to what?
You are audible.
Okay, thank you, sir, for giving me that kind of opportunity. I'm very glad to join your meeting, and thank you to all. So my question to you, like that, I have been using this one application left, that is Hello application. But sometimes I feel like that I get fluency, but sometimes I feel like that I don't get fluency, and I have a lot of influence of my native language. So how can I get rid of from that kind of things? Like, how can I get rid of from my influence of native language? There are a lot of influence, and sometimes I feel like that. Sometimes I gain some foreign accent, but sometimes I feel lose confidence myself. So how can I get rid of from that? So please guide me.
Yeah, Shashi, could you please rephrase the question to me? How can Amit
How can I get rid of from the influence of my native language?
Your native language?
Yes, from our regional accent. And
when
the
regional accent.
And people can recognize, yeah, Amit, you're from Bihar, or you're from,
no, I'm from Bengal.
Kolkata. Amit, where are you from?
Yes.
Right?
Kolkata.
You're from Kolkata. So I said Kolkata. Right? You did not say to me that you're from Kolkata, but I said, Amit, you're from Kolkata. So by listening you, I understood. I could recognize that you're from Kolkata. Like I'm talking to you first time. This is the first time that I'm talking to you. But by listening, I could understand that you're from Kolkata. So it must not happen. No one should understand that you're from Kolkata, or you're from Bihar, or you're from Bangladesh, or you're from Pakistan.
Why? Can I disagree? Can I disagree? Just like a guest, if you allow me. Some people, I have, I don't want to contradict you, but I have heard many people who say that they want to be recognized as, let's say, a Frenchman, a German, an Indian, or any other nationality. Some people have told me, and Bill Green, and he says that he's absolutely happy with his the influence of his native language, and he wants it to he wants to keep it that way. I think that I would agree with those people who want to be recognized as English speakers from different other parts of the world, because they want to keep their culture, because they want to be recognized that particular way. I think that they have this right. But those people who want to sound absolutely native-like, well, I don't want to sound like a Russian. I want because I can sound Russian when I speak Russian, and I can sound American when I speak English, for example. So this is a personal choice. But since Amit asked me to answer this question, I'm ready to answer this question. Amit, I think that you need, again, to surround yourself with a lot of native speakers, not physically, but virtually. So you have to watch movies and shadow. So the shadowing technique is, let's say somebody is speaking and you are just repeating whatever they are saying, every word, whatever they are saying. You're training more than pronunciation in this way. You're training your grammar, you're training your vocabulary, you're training all aspects of pronunciation, including the intonation, pausation, like articulation and whatnot. So the answer will always be, you cannot learn pronunciation only sitting with a book in your hands. It's just impossible. Theory it's not different, but this is how we interpret it. When you're reading these things, they can help you, but you can misinterpret them. So you absolutely need to read those things. Like you Google the pronunciation mistakes that people from your country particularly make, and the Google will give you those typical mistakes that are typical for your nationality. Like I told you that for Russians it's the TH sound. It's also vowels. It's difficult for us to distinguish between, is this let's say mit, met, or meet, okay, or mat. So in Russian it will be all meet and mat, and they don't have anything to do with the English sounds. That's why you just have to stick with those coaches who can help you. Like, you don't have to look for a particular coach. You have to listen to native speakers and Google for particular mistakes typical for your nationality. That's it. You will work on that, and you will find that very, very soon, something like, well, I don't know, you guys are so quick in learning languages but I don't know how long it will take you. It would take me at least 6 months to start understanding what's going on, but you may do it faster because you're younger, because you've got these technologies. So I have to thank all of you for being so tolerant to my to my longish, very longish talk, because yeah, I'm a chatterbox. And I was so pleased that I was invited by Mr. Shashiraj, your teacher, to your Zoom. I've got to go now. And well, hopefully I will be able to either join another Zoom that belongs to Mr. Shashiraj, or I will be able to invite you to my Zoom. And hopefully this is not our last meeting. I can see a couple of faces that I already know. And yeah, I remember Eduardo, and there was, well, now I cannot see those people.
You must be knowing Azita. Azita is our old participant.
Yeah, but it's my first time here. I haven't. It's the first one, the first Zoom that I've joined here, because the previous one was William's Zoom, and this one is your own one. So, guys, I'm so pleased. I was so pleased to be here, and yeah, I was really, like Danielle said, I was freaked out. I such an audience. It's been decades since I last talked in the ELT conference, so it was really, I was nervous. It was a very good experience for me. Now I really got to go, and everybody, make sure that you never stop learning, but never scold yourself for maybe not so fast results that you expect. We're all learners, and learning is a lifelong process. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. So you are incredible.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. Bye.
You will be joining very soon with us. Okay, guys. So she was Tatiana. So she joined first time as a host. However, she has been our participant, and she joined for some time our Zoom meeting. And today she was here as a host. Right. So guys, I can answer of your questions related to pronunciation or anything else you want to know from my side, so I can tell to you. So is there anyone who wants to ask question? Anyone? So ask it. RK, do you want to ask question? You're raising your hand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, how can you were talking about the syllable, the two syllable and three syllable in a word.
Hmm. Yeah, actually, the thing is this: we have got some books of word
So
accent. You search
this is
those
my
books in
biggest
internet.
problem.
Sorry, did you say something?
Any tablet from your.
Okay, so I share one link of Oxford Advanced Learner, so you can go through the words, the word which you want to know, the word which you want to know, where is the stress, how many syllables are there, so by which you can go through the syllables and how many syllables are there, where you have to put the stress. So in this way you can know. And maybe in the coming sessions I'll be taking the class of word stress, word syllables, so by which you'll
Okay,
be
you give
knowing
one example or two example in a two syllable word.
like about, around,
Yes.
ahead. Okay, so these are two syllables word, like bird, herd. Okay, Lord, God. These words, they have one syllable. Okay, like
and third
potato,
syllable.
tomato. Okay, so these words, they
Okay.
have three syllables. Right, and antidote. So these words, they have four syllables. So in this way, there are a lot of words, right? So by which you can understand how many words are there. All right. I don't remember all the words over here when the words come in my mind.
But can you show on the
word.
screen? Can you show this on the screen
See,
for three
like I'm
syllable?
telling you, Arke, you should have patience. One day you cannot learn everything. I have given you the introduction of everything.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You cannot go through the entire book. I told you that I have
Okay, thank
got
you,
the
sir.
entire book. So in the coming session, maybe I'll be showing that book to everyone so that you could know. For that manner, you have to join our sessions every day. And there are a lot of videos related to pronunciation, word accent. I have already uploaded in my YouTube channel, which I have already shared here in our chat box. If you go through my videos, you can find a lot of sessions related to pronunciation, about word accent, about voice modulation, about diphthongs, triphthongs, about the vowels and consonant sounds. So those things are already available in my YouTube channel. Okay, so now who wants to ask question? Anybody else? Just Kapil. You can unmute and you can ask question.
Sir, I want to ask you one question. Okay, it's just simple question. Would you like to tell me the benefit of accent?
Okay, I'm telling you, there was one question. One person was asking that whenever he speaks, his regional accent comes. Okay, and when we don't know about the accent, we speak the word in a flat way. I gave you example of words. If you don't know where you have to put stress, where you have to accent. Accent means stress. Accent means you have to emphasize that part of the word. Okay, accent means it doesn't mean that the way we are speaking, British accent, American accent, right? So that's a different thing. Accent means word stress. You're putting some stress in a word, so that's called the accent. You're emphasizing that part. That is the meaning of accent. And what is the benefit of the accent? The benefit of that accent is that you can convey your message by the word accent correctly. If you don't know where you have to accent the word, meaning of the word will change.
Okay, then sir, tell me. Okay, then tell me one more thing.
I gave you example. I already gave example about convict and convict, present and present. If you are putting stress in the beginning, it is present. Present means gift. Okay, or someone is present over there, like two people are present over here. And if you are saying present, so I'm demonstrating something, I'm showing something, like I'm presenting here, right?
Yep.
So this is the importance of accent, word accent, and stress. So do we have another question? Yes, poster. Poster,
hello everyone, good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, as you told that if you emphasize on certain words or on certain syllables, then the meaning of words gets changed, right?
Yeah.
So what about all those accent, like there is Canadian accent, American accent, British accent?
Same thing. Okay,
So
where are
do
you
you
from?
think all these words,
Where are you? Where are
the
you
meaning
from?
of all these words get changed?
I got your question. So where are you from?
I'm from New Delhi, India.
New Delhi, right? Okay, so you're from New Delhi. I'm from Kanpur, and few people are from Kolkata. Few people are from Haryana. Few people are from Bihar. A few are from Jammu Kashmir, right? So they all have different states. When they speak, their accent is different. Their way of speaking, that is different. The same
So can
thing
we say accent is the distinctive way of speaking?
Let me speak first of all. If you give me chance, if you permit me.
All right.
May I permitted to speak?
Yeah.
I'm permitted, so that I can explain everything. All right. Thank you very much for giving me chance to speak. Now, I told you about the state of India. The same thing happened with all over the world. If you're going in Russia, so there are also a lot of regions. There are a lot of states. So if you go different kind of states, regions, you'd find the people speaking different English. Their pronunciations are different. The same thing happened in America. It's all the American, they're not speaking the same English. They all have different kind of accent. They use different kind of pronunciation. Even they speak. Few people of America, they use a lot of slangs. Few people are very good, very formal. Just because of their state, their region. So this is the answer of your question. Okay, poster? But they all speak English. We always say that they speak English.
But according to your definition, I mean the meaning of all these words should get changed as they are being emphasized differently.
I'm telling you, when they speak, they put the stress in the right word, right? And I'm telling you, you're in Delhi, right? If someone is saying someone is from Kolkata, right? But they speak in different way, like they just merge male and female sentences. I heard people from those who speak Bengali, right? They like man is saying main jati hu, and women is also saying main jati hu. They both are speaking the same sentence. Have you realized this thing?
Yeah.
Okay, man and women, they both are speaking the same sentence. Main jati hu, and man is also saying main jati hu, main khati hu, main soti hu. So how you can understand that is a male or female? How you understand? You know this thing, that those who know Bengali, they speak. They don't know more about Hindi language. They don't know pure Hindi. But we understand their feelings, what they are speaking. The same thing happened with other countries. We must understand their feelings. But when you're talking about some like job professions, when you are professionals, okay, you are with some brand, at that moment you should speak neutral accent. Should speak in neutral accent. Your accent should be neutral. That should be understood by all over the world, everyone. When I'm speaking, I am understood by everyone, almost people. No one can say that your English is very different. I cannot understand. Your pronunciation is different. I'm not able to understand your pronunciation. Because I'm speaking in neutral accent. I'm not using British and American accent. I'm speaking only in neutral accent. Neutral accent means the accent which is clear, crystal, and crisp. That is understood by everyone. Okay? Yeah. So, poster, you understood? So, is there anyone else who wants to ask any question? Anyone else? Yes, Bharti, you can ask your question. Unmute and you can ask question.
Okay. Yeah. So first of all, good evening to all of you. This is Bharti Tiwari here from India. I would like to ask one question because I am a teacher, but sometimes I'm just confused how to pronounce words. I know the meaning of this word and I know how to take, but sometimes I don't understand how to pronounce the word. So how can I improve the pronunciation skill? This is my question.
I told you this is only knowledge. How many words pronunciation you know, that is your knowledge. And how you can improve it by reading, by listening.
So
And I have already shared one link of Oxford Dictionary. Okay. If you are confused that you are not able to pronounce any word, you are confused that I don't know how to pronounce this word and I'm not able to understand. So just type that word in the dictionary and listen that word again and again, or you can record your own voice and listen it, then match with the exact pronunciation. Or sometime you can reach to any expert, or you can reach me, ask me, I'm not able to pronounce this word, could you help me? So I can let you know how to pronounce that word. All right, Bharti, you understood?
yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I got.
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah, thank
Daniel,
you.
my
Thank
friend,
you for this.
you can ask question. Unmute and you can ask question.
Hello?
Yes, Daniel, you're audible.
Okay, but I think that reading is not just reading. I would prefer that maybe listening or the shadowing technique, like the coach said, right? The repeat after the native, follow their lines. So I would recommend you to. There are some YouTubers in YouTube that you can they give a speech, they read line, not read, but they start to talk, and they give you a space to pronounce behind him. That's a good technique. Another one that's the shadowing. Well, shadowing is like you talk and you are behind repeating, trying to imitate not only the pronunciation but also the accent, the intonation, and the rhythm. So I would recommend to, in order to discriminate. Now another thing is to discriminate the different sounds, because as the coach said in Russian, Ruskich, yeah, in Russian there are 6 single vowel sounds, but in English, no. There are more. There are like 20, around 20.
25.
Well,
Or if
I'm not
you're
talking
including
about.
diphthongs, it will be
Yeah,
26
but
or
yeah, but diphthongs not a big deal. It's just the problem is the single vowel sound. So so I don't know if you have seen this. People who here.
phonetic symbols.
Oh, this is the International Phonetic Alphabet (IPA). So I would recommend to that person, Barty and the other ones, to at least just to search and practice and discriminate and try to look up look this sound. I'm going to focus just on single vowel sound. Okay, look, check this out. At least here in my language, my native uh, language is Spanish. So in Spanish is only a, e, I, o, u, and you read in Spanish a, e, I, o, u, and that's it. No more. But the problem is in English. So I would recommend you to start to discriminate. Remember that the Russian coach said, Tatiana, she said meet, for example. So the idea would be great that uh, we try to learn to discriminate and practice this sound. For example, e, oh, ooh. For example, in Spanish, it doesn't exist So everybody say book. We don't say book. It's difficult to say book, word book, look. Past simple of take, teacher took. Yes. So here, oh, that's very common in Spanish. Oh, sword, ball, call, right? Here, this is difficult because the Spanish doesn't exist, and in English is very common. Words. learned, yeah, turned. I can say girl, a common word, boys and girl, you know, girl. British accent, g, g. So Spanglish, well, here in Spanish we say girl, teacher, girl. Okay, but the correct pronunciation is girl, a girl. Here, the schwa sound. No, this is very common symbol, and in
Sound.
Spanish, we don't want to stress. It doesn't exist. It's like America. Or for example, teacher, teacher, brother, sister, sister, mother, computer. But in Spanish, we don't say that. In Spanish, we say mother, hey teacher, teacher, finish teacher. We say brother, mother, father, yeah, my father, my brother, a computer, turn on the computer, computer. So, computer. So what I mean is that in the native they say it like computer, so it's difficult. Here it's very common. Here it is difficult nasal sound, American English, because Tatiana mentioned about she focused on American English. She want to master in American. Yeah, we know that there are different accents like the Canadian, the the most common are the British and the American. But here this is a nasal sound. In Spanish, at least, it doesn't exist. Everybody say cat, cat. We don't say cat, but it's more difficult. British cat. So here is this is very easy. For example, wait, but cut the paper. Yes, okay, no problem. This the column is the 2 points. The 2 points that you see there, the two dots, are called columns. So they represent long sounds. For example, par, arm. Yeah. So no problem. This is a problem because this, at least in Spanish, doesn't exist. This pronunciation is like, check it out. Not office. I didn't say office. Office. Check it out. Office. I can say clock. What time is it? So what time is it? Teacher, what time is it? Yeah, what time is it? Oh, it's 4 o'clock. The clock. On. Turn on the radio. Turn on. On. This is just practice. Yes, but firstly, I would highly recommend to discriminate the different sounds. Yes, like oo, o, well, so I would recommend to check at least single vowel sound in YouTube and by yourself. So firstly, instead of just reading and reading, well, it's okay to read, but it would be great that you that you know what you're doing, the technique. What is the technique to recognize the different sounds? Yes, just that. Yes, the single vowel sounds. I show you, and I just show you the single vowel sound because there are deep tones and there are more consonants. But the most important are the single vowel sound. If you discriminate the different sound of single vowel sound, that will be great not only for your pronunciation but also to recognize when you listen or watch a movie. Yes. Okay. Okay. I don't want to go on. I talk too much, but that's it.
Thank you very much, Daniel. You
By the
gave
way,
important information about the sounds, about consonant and vowels.
another thing. Yeah.
Just
Everybody said, even coaches, even teachers, we have sometimes we make mistakes, but the correct pronunciation is pronunciation. We say sometimes I skipped, I forget, I say pronoun when I speak, but it's pronunciation. And even when I'm in webinars, in seminars, the teachers they say pronunciation. What the hell is going on? They're supposed to pronounce correctly. What I say nothing. Maybe I correct them in a private message, but at least Tatiana said perfectly. She said pronunciation, but so I like pronunciation and I love this skill about learning not only the pronunciation but also in pronunciation there are segmental part and suprasegmental part in pronunciation. The segmental is when you focus on the sound, the discrimination of the word that I show you, the IPA, the International Alphabet, and the suprasegmental is more difficult because you focus on the rhythm, the accent, and the stress. That's what you focus in the suprasegmental. I repeat, the rhythm, the intonation, and the stress. That is suprasegmental part. Teacher, and the segmental? Okay, the vowel sounds and the consonants. That's it. Okay. So just to give a short brief, just focus on. I would recommend you to practice to the single vowel sound. Okay, just the single vowel sound. And because the problem is that when you read and you practice, but it's okay. You know what? I have, for example, when the very first time I went to the US to work, I was there. I'm Peruvian, okay, and when I was a university student, I participate in exchange work and travel exchange programs. Oh, okay, I'm going to the US. That was the very first time I work. I had finished my advanced level English in a Peruvian institute, so I was there. And you know what? I was there and I didn't know this. I mean, I didn't manage or master or discriminate, so I felt frustrated when I work in the US when I have to talk and interact with English native speakers, because even in those time I work in a ski resort, so I work in the north of the United States, so no Mexican, no Latins, just native speakers. Well, and also, well, I was close to the border too. I was in Vermont. Vermont is a state in the north of the United States, close to the border with Canada. So, so I felt frustrated because when I worked there as a student, it was in my third year. That was a long time ago. I felt frustrated because I said, "What the hell? What's wrong with me? I finished my advanced level. I have a certificate. In Peru. Here, what's going on?" And then I found out that, and that's why I I I felt this motivation to prepare my thesis for my master degree about pronunciation. So I prepared a program to improve the English for non-native speakers, and that's it. But I wanted to share this experience. When I was in the US, my very first time, I was in my 20s, 23 years old, and of course, with my Argentinian friend, Chileans, no problem because of course we have the accent, but the problem was with the native because what happened? The suprasegmental part. That's the suprasegmental part section. Yes, because the elision, the contraction, yes. So the speed, yes. Just one example about suprasegmental part. When you say come here, American isn't saying come here, say come here. Hey, come here.
Come here.
Say
Come here.
come. Yes. So the segmental part, they don't focus on that part. The segmental part just focus on pronunciation. Yes.
I would like to say something, Daniel. Suppose the one sentence we have, like, would you like to help her? We speak in this way, right? But American, they say, would you like to help her?
Yes.
They speak this way. Would you? They don't say would you. They say would you? Would you like to help her? And when you say did ya, so they say dija. Dija. They don't say did you. They say dija.
Yeah. So that's the way we are taught. Yeah. Did you? But it's different. The theory and practice is different. Everybody knows that. So when you're exposed in the real, American native field, that's the difference. Yes. So I tell you this and I share you this because I was there, I worked there, and I really like the experience. And I apply again. So for the next year, I travel again to the US to work as a work and travel program student. But just sharing that. So that's why pronunciation is very important. So remember, segmental part, vowel and consonant, and suprasegmental part. Very interesting about intonation, the accent. Yes, for example, hey, Peruvian, we say, "What's wrong with you?" Hey, for the American, "Hey, what's wrong with you? What are you talking about? Check it out. Hey, what are you talking about?" But you see, American accent, 100%. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? We call that the pitch of sound. In Spanish, we don't have pitches. It's just like, hey, what's wrong with you? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? In Spanish, what are you talking about with my accent? Hey, but if you want to master and practice it, what are you talking about? It's because you are discriminating. You are learning the pitches of sound, the stress. Yes, and yes, as far as you can see, they stretch, so the duration is different, the speed, the intonation. So it's a lot to talk. So I just want to make sure about just that. Okay, and I think that's it.
Thank you very much, Daniel. So, Miss, I'm feeling that we have two guest hosts, because one was Tatiana from Russia. She shared her journey, and Daniel has also shared his journey. So, but within a short period of time, Daniel shared a lot of things to us, and I have shared one YouTube link here in our chat box. Daniel was talking about IPA, International Phonetics Alphabets. So I already made one video on International Phonetics Alphabets. So you can watch this video. I explained all the sounds of vowels and consonants. All right. And Daniel, I just want to confirm you. There is one word you are using again and again. So that's called VOWELS. Right. So generally we say it's a vowels.
Vowels.
Vowels. We say it's a vowels. And most of the people, they say vowel. Okay. So we all have to say vowels. That's called the vowels. All right. And here we have talked about stress and accent and pronunciation. And there is one more part, that is intonation. It is important. If you're not putting the stress in a particular word, it will change the entire meaning of the sentence. What you're talking about, this, you can't understand what you're talking. Suppose I'm saying that Daniel lives in Lima. I'm saying Daniel lives in Lima. So there are a lot of people, only Daniel lives in Lima. If I'm saying that Daniel lives in Lima, sentence is same, but I'm putting stress in different word. In the previous sentence, I put stress in Daniel. I was emphasizing on Daniel, right? And if I'm saying Daniel lives in Lima, so here I'm putting stress on Lima. So Daniel lives in Lima, not in any other city, any other country, any other place. When I'm putting stress in Daniel, so Daniel is the only person. No one is here, lives in Lima. You understood the importance of intonation? There are certain rules of intonation, noun rule, pronoun rule, adjective rule, adverb rules. I also created a video on intonation. You can go through my YouTube channel. You can know where we have to put stress in a word, what we are talking about, whatever expressions we have. Intonation means speaking with expressions, speaking with your gesture, hand movements. And if you don't know the rules and regulations, you will learn yourself when you build up your confidence. This is the natural thing. There are a lot of people, they don't know intonation, but they speak with expressions, with the body language, with their hand movements. All right. So that's all about from my side. Is there anyone else who wants to ask any question? Raise your hand. Yes, Guido.
Okay, thank you, sir. I want to ask about question number 13. What is accent neutralization? Neutralization, right?
Accent neutralization.
Yes.
I already explained this thing, so I would like to explain once again. If you are asking this question, let me share all the questions here. Actually, I was supposed to create breakout room. Maybe I'll be creating breakout room tomorrow. So tomorrow we can discuss all the questions. Today you cannot discuss, right? So it would be better. You can also go through the questions. You can read. You can do some research on these questions from internet, so that you could discuss.
Yeah, we
Okay.
never discussed about the question.
Questions are here in our chat box. So you're asking which question you're asking about? 12. Do you know what is neutral accent? Or okay, what is accent neutralizations? Neutralize. What does it mean? Neutralize. Right. Okay. Let me explain you. Suppose Guido, you're from Indonesia, right? When you speak English language, so sometimes your sound also like some sounds from Indonesian. A few sounds that is also merging with your Indonesian words in English language. So like generally people can understand, right? But you speak good English, your pronunciation is good, but it happens that when you are speaking, people can understand because sometimes singing tone, sometimes that tone rhythm of Indonesia that come while speaking. All right. So for removing all these things, we say neutralize. So you need to neutralize your accent. Neutralize means you have to remove your regional accent. And you would be speaking in neutral accent. The accent which is clear, crisp, and crystal. And for all these things, I have explained you some jaws exercises. Some mouth movements are there, jaws exercises are there. You have to stretch your mouth. Some vowels exercises are there. If you go through those exercises, you would learn how to open your mouth. When we are speaking, we don't use our mouth. Actually, the sound comes from your mouth organs. We have got lips, tongue, upper palate, lower palate. So we have to use all the organs. You have to stretch our mouth. We have to do some exercises. Stretching your mouth. Open your mouth, how much you can open. And after that, your sound would be clear, crisp, and crystal. So these are the ways by which you can neutralize your accent. Okay, Guido, you understood? Daniel, would you like to say something about it?
Sure thing.
Yes.
Please.
I would like to say something about. Yes, we never discussed about the questions exposed in the chat. Maybe Tatiana just shared her testimony, right? Her experience.
Yeah, actually, these are questions which are made by me. I designed all the questions.
Okay. Another session.
Actually, that topic she has chosen, she wanted to speak on pronunciation. In what manner she has learned the pronunciation. So I added these questions.
Okay.
We had topics. Okay.
By the way, I want to thank to Azita. She's turning on her camera.
She always turn on her camera.
The only woman who turns
the
on
only
her
person. She is Muslim, and she
Muslim.
is bold. She is confident. She always open her camera, and she never feels shy to speak to anyone, and she encourage people as well.
Even
She's our
really,
co-host.
really, even to me. Oh yeah, let's go. Yes, Azita. Yes. Let me comb my hair for you, Azita. I like this. No, my bad. Here. Oh, Coutinho. Just like me. I like that. Okay. Coutinho has my style. You know what I'm saying? Coutinho, thanks for turning on your camera as well.
See, some hairs are left.
Janir and Eduardo Coutinho sound like Brazilian. Sound like Coutinho. Right? Coutinho? Are you Brazilian?
Yes, I am.
Brasil, Zil. Coutinho, Brasil, Capirinha. Yeah, garotinha. Brasil, Fortaleza. É você, fala você. Vaiano. Yeah, okay. Too much. Yeah. My bad. Okay. Yes, coach. Sorry for the interruption. I didn't mean to. Coach?
You have not muted. I was waiting. Okay, so I asked one question, Daniel, to speak about accent neutralization. Guido's waiting.
Neutralization. Neutral. Zero.
Question number 13. May I share the question once again? Yeah.
Question 13. Question.
What's the question, please?
Everybody's in silence. Why?
No, you have to answer. Would you like to speak something about question number 13? What is
Okay, I can.
nuclearization? Let Daniel speak. After that, Yannick, you can speak.
Okay, thank
It's
you.
a great idea that they participate. Yes, this is not a speech. This is not a lecture. This is an interactive session. You're supposed to participate. Come on, bring it on. Come on, niggas. Show me what you got. Teacher, but I feel I'm shy. I'm not very well. I don't give a fuck. Just try. Come on. Okay, Yannick, yes, go ahead.
Okay, okay, thank you. About question number 13. What is the action? Okay, what is the action nuclearization? Okay, according to me, I think is the fact to remove your mother tongue on your voice. Try to speak with internal voice. Internal voice. Yeah, speak just clear, be understandable without make people resent your mother tongue in your voice. Yeah, that's the thing I think about it.
Yes, Daniel.
Yes.
You understood?
No, sorry, I received a phone call and I was replying.
Okay.
So
Yes,
I say that.
does he
I
need
say
to
that.
speak again?
Okay, no problem. Okay, I
Please,
say that. According to me,
let me confirm. Daniel, you're not on the call. Sure?
I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, great. Now, Yannick, please go ahead.
Okay, according to me, I think accent negotiation is the fact to try to speak without make people have the feeling about your mother tongue, because sometimes they have some people where I speak. You can see these people come from this country or this country because you can see their mother tongue involved in their speaking. That's the fact to speak without a mother tongue into your voice, or speak with the voice in canal voice. Just be clear, understandable. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, Daniel.
Yes, I heard him, and yeah, I agree. I agree. Yannick, by the way, where are you from?
I'm from Cameroon.
Oh.
Yeah, but I currently live in Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast.
Yeah, for 5 years.
Spanish, Costa de Marfil. Different. Yeah, I agree what you said, but Eduardo want to share something. Eduardo Coutinho. Yes? You want to share something? Go ahead, come on.
Yeah, I'd like to share about the first question. What is pronunciation? Yes, and I would say it is the way in which a word is pronounced. Yes, and it can be wrong or right. Yes. and so it can be also defined as a way in which a language is spoken. Yes, and so sometimes we think in one way in our mother tongue, but when we are learning a new language, we start to think another way about pronunciation. Yes, and this is some of the challenge that